to Focus Atlanta. Again, I am your host, Keisha Lanslin. Thanks so much for continuing to watch. We're going to shift the focus and talk a little about osteoporosis. I'm here with Dr. Singer. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Oh, my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Well, can we give people a little background, like what really is osteoporosis?
Absolutely. Osteoporosis is a condition where bones become weaker or more fragile, making them more likely to break.
Okay.
And if we think about the importance with the aging of the population in particular, 1 out of 2 women and up to 1 out of 4 men over the age of 50 will have an osteoporotic fracture in her or his remaining lifetime. There are 10 million people with osteoporosis in the US, another 44 million with low bone mass, making a lot of people at risk for fractures, which can be life-altering events.
Is there a particular age range where we should start being concerned, or is this a matter of, building up your calcium, building up your bone strength, and it really doesn't matter the age?
Bone health is important, as you've sort of implied, across the lifespan. We certainly want to be thinking about it in our kids and adolescents because it is young people up to about the age of 20 and certainly by 30 where bone is accrued and we reach peak bone mass. So this is important throughout life, but when we think of people at greatest risk for osteoporosis and having fractures, we tend to think about sort of midlife. So if I had to pick an age, I'd say roughly 50 and beyond, certainly for women.
Wow. When we're thinking about our bone health and being educated in terms of, doing the best thing possible, is there anything that we can do if we've already had some bone loss, or, are we in a position to improve our bone health?
Well, it is never too late to pay attention, to be evaluated, and to treat. So throughout life, there are a number of things that we can do proactively, making sure that we have a healthy, well-balanced diet. We're getting in the adequate building blocks, specifically calcium. Dietary sources are preferred, but we can use supplements if we can't get it in through the diet. Adequate vitamin D, adequate protein to keep muscles strong. That helps avoid the risk for falls. Exercises, which include weight-bearing exercises, strength training, and balance exercises. Avoiding things that are bad for the bone, right, like smoking or excessive alcohol. And then there are medications that can be used to help to build bone or improve bone or prevent further loss. But most importantly, the medicines that we use reduce the risk for fracture, which is ultimately what we're trying to prevent.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm so glad that you said that, because I think that we feel like, to some extent, because we feel like, okay, all the good stuff we should have done, it should have happened before we were 30. And if we didn't do it, it's downhill from here. There's nothing else that we can do. But what you're saying is we can continually take care of our bone health.
Absolutely, we can. And really, in most cases, you're never too old to treat. Fractures increase with increasing age and often can lead to significant consequences. So things that people care most about are remaining independent, being mobile, being able to do all of the things that they waited until that stage of life to do, perhaps. And a fracture can change that trajectory. So it's never too late to intervene and to think about things. It's easier to prevent bone loss than to replace what we've lost. But even if you might have missed the boat earlier on, one should talk to their clinician and figure out the best ways to approach this.
Well, then I've got to let you close out with a website. Is there some place that we can go and learn more?
Yes, perfect website to have people view is www.bonehealthandosteoporosis.org.
Thanks so much for coming on the show. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Thanks so much for having me.
All right, guys, there is something that we can do. We can learn about better bone health. Take the opportunity to visit the website and learn more. And stay tuned to more Focus Atlanta. We'll be right back.